After being accused of armed rebellion by the Kremlin, the leader of the Wagner mercenary group in Russia has threatened to go all the way to overthrow the country's military leadership. Yevgeny Prigozhin claimed that his Wagner fighters had entered Rostov-on-Don after crossing the border from Ukraine into Russia. Anyone who stood in their way would be destroyed, according to Mr. Prigozhin. The local governor advised residents to maintain calm and stay indoors. According to Mr. Prigozhin, a Russian military helicopter that opened fire on a civilian convoy was shot down by his men. He did not provide a place, therefore the claim could not be confirmed right away. Alongside the Russian army's formal counterpart in Ukraine, the Wagner Group has been operating as a private army of mercenaries. Their relationship has become increasingly tense as a result of Mr. Prigozhin's recent public critiques of Russia's military leadership. The 62-year-old mercenary leader charged the military on Friday of launching a lethal missile strike on his soldiers and pledged to exact revenge. He did not offer any proof. Authorities have requested that he stop his illegal actions and denied the strike. Those who killed our lads, and tens of thousands of lives of Russian soldiers, in the war in Ukraine, will be punished, he stated in an audio message shared on the social media app Telegram. I ask you not to resist. Anyone who does will be considered a threat and destroyed. That goes for any checkpoints and aviation on our way. Presidential power, the government, the police and Russian Guard will work as usual. This is not a military coup, but a march of justice. Our actions do not interfere with the troops in any way. Russia's President Vladimir Putin is receiving round-the-clock updates on the situation, his spokesman said. According to Russia's state-owned news agency TASS, security in Moscow was increased on Friday night at key places, including government buildings and transportation hubs. Residents of the Lipetsk area of Russia are likewise being urged not to travel south. Moreover, 500 kilometers, 280 miles, separate Lipetsk from Rostov and the closest Ukrainian border. Igor Artemonov claimed in a Telegram post that security measures in the area are being increased with a focus on safeguarding vital infrastructure facilities. Late on Friday, the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense merely stated, "We are watching." The White House said it was monitoring the situation and would consult with U.S. allies. Gen. Sergei Surovikin, the deputy head of the Russian forces in Ukraine, whose leadership Mr. Prigozhin has praised in the past, called on him to stop the convoys and return them to their bases. "We are of one blood, we are warriors," he said in a video. "You mustn't play into the enemy's hands at a time that is difficult for our country." Another senior commander, Lieutenant Gen. Vladimir Alexeyev, described the Wagner chief's actions as a stab in the back of the country and the president. Russian state media reported that the FSB, Russia's security service, has opened a criminal case against Mr. Prigozhin, accusing him of calling for an armed rebellion and attempting to start armed civil conflict in Russia. Wagner fighters were apparently urged by the FSB to defy his orders and seek his capture. In a statement, the Russian Defense Ministry said that all reports by Prigozhin spread on social media of Russian strikes on Wagner camps were false and are an information provocation. In a video message from May, Mr. Prigozhin criticized the Russian Defense Minister, Sergei Shoigu, as well as the Chief of the General Staff, Valery Gerasimov, for failing to arm his troops with enough ammunition. On Friday, he declared that the war in Ukraine had been started so that Shoigu could become a marshal. The Ministry of Defense is trying to deceive the public, deceive the president and tell a story that there was some crazy aggression by Ukraine, that, together with the whole NATO bloc, Ukraine was planning to attack us, he said.